and just sort of take it apart and talk with each other about it. I think that's all I want to say about that sort of thing. And now I'm just going to go around and introduce everybody to you. I just saw a note, a message come in the chat from our playwright in residence, Madeline George. I'm so glad she's here. And there she is, hooray. And I'm hoping Madeline will stick around afterwards tomorrow night too, and participate in this conversation with us about it. She and Sarah have been having some, I think, fun conversations and work already on the play. So it'll be interesting to hear what they both have to say about that. So let me go around and introduce everybody who's here backstage right now. I'm going to begin and just go around and point out on my Zoom screen. I'm going to start with, I should say this. I did say lots has happened since we last all gathered in this way in all of our lives and in our life as a nation, for sure. But one thing I just wanted to point out and take this opportunity to say is that a very big and important two things happened. One, that Sara Holdren got married to a wonderful man called Beau. Since we last met and saw her as a dying Juliet, she's come back to life as a married woman. And she also took a bike ride with her new husband for a honeymoon across the country. They went from the Atlantic to the Pacific. They got on bikes in Virginia and ended up in the Pacific in Oregon. And that's pretty extraordinary. And she's now back on the East Coast with us. Maybe at some point we can get her to talk to us about that. I can tell you though, I'm just going to do a little advertisement. Sara Holdren has a website, saraholdren.com, I think it is, or .net. .com?
Yes, com. I am.
.com. Go to that website and look at the bike thing. Go to her blog. She kept a blog of the entire trip. It's some of the most exquisite, insightful, beautiful, smart writing about what's been going on in the nation and what was going on in their lives and trip during that time. I highly recommend it. So I'm going to just say that. All right, and now let me go around and introduce, and it happens to be that Sara is up there in the top left-hand corner. So Sara, tell us who you are and what you're doing.
Hello, so hi everybody. My name's Sara Holdren, and I will be reading Masha tonight, or Maria Sergeyevna Prozorov in her full Russian name. And I'm a director and teacher and sometimes a writer about theater and things. And the things I've done at Two River include two Little Shakes productions, A Comedy of Errors and Twelfth Night. And then, The Comedy of Errors and Macbeth. And then the Twelfth Night that was a bigger Shakes production last winter. So
great, thanks. And then next I have Helen Jacks.
Hey everyone, I'm Helen Jacks. I'll be reading stage directions today. I am a friend of Two River. I live in New Orleans, but I am a constant collaborator with Taylor, so I'm glad to be here with y'all tonight.
Thank you. And Dan Montano.
Hi everybody, Dan Montano. In real life, I am the sound supervisor at Two River Theater.
And you are playing?
I'm playing Chabutin.
Great, thank you. Devin.
Hi, I'm Devin Fletcher. Tonight I am Irina. In real life, I am a director and stage manager. At Two River, I stage manage Sarah's productions of Macbeth and Comedy of Errors for Little Shakes. And I'm also a teaching artist, so I've directed 2 summer intensives for the program for Kate and Amanda, which is the best.
Excellent. Devin, can I just say, I don't know about anybody else, but if the more volume you could put, the better. You're just the tiniest bit hard for me to hear.
Great.
Okay, thanks.
Copy that.
All right, next to my screen is Katie Benson.
Hi guys, I'm Katie Benson. This is John Quincy Adams. I'm the special events manager at Two River Theater, and tonight I'm going to be stage managing this reading.
Great. Corinda.
Hi everyone, I am Corinda Bravo. I'm playing Anfisa. I am a teaching artist at Two River. I'm also an acting teacher, ensemble teacher, voice, speech, actor, and mom. So I live here in Red Bank.
Great, thank you. Amanda.
Yes, hi, I'm Amanda Espinoza. I will be playing Olga. I am the Education and Community Engagement Manager at Two River, and I'm reprising my role from Tybalt, award-winning from the Romeo and Juliet. Thank you.
Award-winning. Yes.
I
Taylor.
What's up, y'all? I'm Taylor Barfield. I'm the literary manager at Two River Theater, and I will be playing Cooligan, who is a teacher.
Great.
Thank you.
Let's see, Matt Yee.
Hi, I'm Matt Yee at Two River Theater. I work box office, and I will be playing Andre.
Great. Ashlyn.
Hi, I am Oslin. I will be playing Natasha, and I work in the box office as well.
Great. Kate Cordaro.
Hi, I'm Kate. Tonight I'm playing Farapont, and I'm the Director of Education at Two River.
Thank you. Christian.
Hi guys, I'm Christian Dokes. I'm the staff carpenter at Two River Theater, and pronouns are he, him, his.
And you're playing?
And I'm playing Baron Tusenbach.
Great. Brian Eckert.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brian. I'll be playing Solioni. I'm the former artistic assistant at Two River.
Great. Dwayne.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Knock, playing Vershinin. I'm the lead carpenter at Two River since 2005.
Excellent. Matt Makowski.
I am Matt. I'm a front of house staff member at Two River and a former Metro scholar, just to throw that out there. And I'll be playing Theo Dick.
Okay, great. All right, somebody put in the chat that more volume could help generally. So I'm going to ask all of our audiences to make sure that your volume on your machines, wherever you are, is turned up full, right? Everybody out there in audience land, make sure that your speakers are up as loud as they can go. And then I'm going to ask of all of our actors to put on your theater stage voices and make sure to use the power of your passion and have that lift your voices up. All right. And yes, sing out Louise. All right. Katie, do I turn it over to you and go away?
Yes. So why don't we have everybody go
Great.
away, and then we'll start.
Three Sisters by Anton Chekhov, a drama in 4 acts. The Prozorov house, a big living room, separated by columns from a dining room in the rear. It is noon. The weather is sunny and bright. In the dining room, the table is being set for lunch. Olga wears a dark blue high school teacher's dress. She stands or walks about, correcting blue books. Masha enters wearing a black dress. She is seated reading with her hat on her lap. Irina wears a white dress. She stands lost in thought.
It was a year ago today that father died. May 5th, on your birthday, Irina. It was very cold and it snowed. I never thought I'd live through it. You fainted and you were lying there as if you were dead too. Well, but now it's a year later and it doesn't bother us to talk about it. You're wearing a white dress and you look lovely.
The clock strikes noon.
And the clock struck that morning just the same. I remember when they carried father's coffin out, there was a band playing. It was a military funeral in the cemetery. They fired rifles over the grave. He was a general, a brigade commander. I thought there should have been more people, but it was raining hard, and then it started to snow.
I don't want to think about it.
Baron Tusenbach, Chebutikin, and Solioni appear in the dining room.
Well, today is warm enough to leave the windows wide open, even though the birch trees haven't put out any leaves yet. Father got his command 11 years ago. And we left Moscow and came here. It was the beginning of May then too. And I remember exactly, Moscow was already full of flowers. It was warm and there was sunshine everywhere. I was 11 years ago. And I remember it all exactly just as if we'd left Moscow yesterday. And oh my, this morning I woke up and realized it was springtime. Everything was so bright and I felt such a wave of happiness inside me, and I wanted so much to go back home.
The hell you say?
It's all a lot of nonsense.
Masha, don't whistle like that, really. I spend the whole day at school and then I do extra tutoring and in the evenings, and my head hurts all the time. And I get so depressed sometimes. It's as if I've gotten old all of a sudden. 4 years at that high school, and every day I feel as a little more of life and strength is slipping away from me. There's only one thing that keeps me going.
Moscow, going back to Moscow, selling this house and everything and going back to Moscow.
Yes, going back to Moscow as soon as we can.
Brother, of course, will be a scientist. He certainly can't go on living here. Only there is a problem about poor Masha.
Oh, Masha can come spend the summers with us every year.
Well, I hope everything will work out. The weather is wonderful today. I don't know why I feel so good. This morning I remembered it was my birthday and all of a sudden I felt wonderful. I thought about when I was little, when Mama was alive. I kept thinking the most wonderful things.
You do look lovely today. You seem really beautiful, and Masha is beautiful too. Andre would be better looking, but he's gotten awfully heavy and it doesn't look good on him. And I've gotten old. I've lost far too much weight, and I'm sure it's because all the girls at the high school, they keep making me so angry. But today is Sunday. I can stay home. My head doesn't ache, and I feel so much younger than I did yesterday. Well, that's all right. It's God's will. But sometimes I think if I'd gotten married and maybe stayed home all day long, then would be better somehow. I would have loved my husband.
Nothing you say makes any sense. I can't take it anymore.
Comes into the living room.
I forgot to tell you. Our new commanding officer is coming to pay you a visit today. A Colonel Vershinin.
Sits down
Really?
at the piano.
Really, well, we'd be delighted.
Is he old?
Not at all. Maybe 40, 45 at the most.
Starts to play quietly.
Well, he seems very nice. Definitely not stupid. He just talks a lot.
Is he interesting?
I suppose so. Only he has a wife, a mother-in-law, and 2 little girls. And it's his second marriage. Everywhere he goes, he tells people about how he has a wife and 2 little girls. No, wait and see. He'll tell you too. His wife's a little crazy. She wears her hair in braids like a schoolgirl, and she uses very highfalutin language, talks philosophy, and spends a lot of time trying to kill herself. Mostly to annoy her husband, as far as I can tell. I would have left a woman like that long ago, but he just hangs on and complains about her.
Solyoni comes in the living room with Chebutikin.
I can only lift 50 pounds with one arm, but with 2 arms, I can lift 150 pounds, even more. What do I conclude from that? That 2 men are not just twice as strong as one, but 3 times as strong, or even more.
Reading his newspaper as he walks.
To prevent falling hair, 2 ounces of naphtha in half a bottle of alcohol. Shake and use daily.
Writes in a little notebook.
Well, let's just make a little note of that. All right. Now, as I was saying, you take a cork, stick it in the bottle. Then you get a little glass pipe and stick it through the cork. Then you take a pinch of ordinary everyday baking soda.
Ivan Romanich, dear Ivan Romanich.
What is it, child? What is it, dearest?
Tell me why I feel so happy today. I feel as if I had sails flying in the wind and the sky over me was bright blue and full of white birds. Why is that? Do you know why?
Kissing both her hands tenderly.
You're my little white bird.
When I got up this morning, everything in the world was suddenly clear, and I realized I knew how to live. Dear Ivan Romanich, I do know everything. Man must work in the sweat of his brow, no matter who he is. That's the whole point of his life and all his happiness. How wonderful it must be to get up at dawn and pave streets, or be a shepherd or a school teacher who teaches children, or work on a railroad. My Lord, not even a man, a horse or something, as long as you work, anything's better than waking up at noon and having breakfast in bed, then taking 2 hours to dress. What an awful life this is. I want to work the way I want, cold drinks in hot water. And I don't know. If I don't do that from now on, get up and go to work, then don't you ever have anything more to do with me, Ivan Romanich.
I won't, I promise.
Well, Father trained us all to get up at 7 o'clock. Now Irina wakes up at 7 and lies in bed for hours and thinks about things, and with such a serious face.
You always treat me like a little girl. You think it's funny when I'm serious, but I'm 20 years old.
Oh my God, I really understand that desire to work. I've never worked a day in my life. I was born in Petersburg, where it's cold and boring, and no one in my family has ever worked or even had to worry. I remember whenever I got home from military school, there was always a servant to take my boots off. I was a real little monster to them. But my mother just smiled and let me do whatever I wanted. She never understood when other people objected to the way I behaved. They tried to protect me from hardship, but I don't think they quite managed. And now the time has come. There's a storm gathering, a wild and elemental storm, and it's coming. It's almost over our heads, and it will clean out our society and get rid of laziness and indifference and this prejudice against working and this lousy, rotten boredom. I intend to work, and in 25 or 30 years, we will all work. All of us.
Not me.
Oh, you don't count.
In 25 years, you won't be around, thank God. I give you a couple of years more, then you either die of a stroke, Angel, or I shoot your head off.
Takes out a little bottle of cologne and rubs some on his hands.
I have never done anything ever. Once I graduated, I never did another lick of work. I never read a single book. All I read are newspapers. For instance, I read in the papers, let's say, about the writer named Dobrolyubov. So I know he exists, but God only knows what he wrote. I don't.
Someone knocks on the floor from below.
Somebody wants me downstairs. I must have a visitor. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute or so.
Hurries out, combing his beard.
I think he's dreamed up another surprise.
Oh, you're right. Did you see the look on his face as he went out? Oh, you are about to receive a birthday present.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
It really is terrible. He's always out doing things, overdoing things.
By the sea, there stands a tree. And on that tree, a golden chain. And on that tree, a golden chain.
You're not very cheerful today, Masha. Where are you going?
Home.
That's rude.
Leaving a birthday party?
It's all right. I'll be back later on. Goodbye, darling.
Kisses Irina.
I want you to be well and happy. When Father was alive, we used to have 30 or 40 officers at our birthday parties. It was noisy and fun. Today there's only a man and a half, and it's dull as a desert. Look, I'm leaving. I'm in kind of a depressed mood today. I don't feel well. Don't mind what I say. We'll have a talk later on, but goodbye for now, dear. I'm going for a walk.
But what's the matter?
I know what you mean, Masha.
When a man talks philosophy, you get philosophy, or at least sophistry. But when a woman talks philosophy, or two women, all you get is wee, wee, wee all the way home.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Said the dog to the flea, don't jump on me.
Oh, stop crying, Olga.
Enter Anfisa and Farapont with a birthday cake.
Come on in, come on, it's all right. Your feet are clean. It's a birthday cake, a present from Protopop over at the council office.
Thank you. Tell him thank you.
What?
Tell him thank you.
Nana, give him something to eat. Farapont, go on. She'll give you something to eat.
What?
Come on, old man. Come on.
She goes out with Farapont.
I don't like that Protopopov or whatever his name is. You shouldn't have invited him.
I didn't.
Good.
Chebutikin comes in. He is followed by an orderly carrying a huge silver tea service.
Silver service. How awful.
Oh, Ivan Romanich, how could you?
What did I tell you?
Oh, Ivan Romanich, you really are disgraceful.
My dears, my little girls. You're all I have. You are dearer to me than anything else in the world. 60 years old, I'm an old man, a lonely, broken down old man. The only decent thing left in me is my love for you. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have gone on living. Darling, my sweet little girl, I've known you since the day you were born. I've carried you when you were a baby. I was in love with your sainted mother.
But why such expensive gifts?
Expensive gifts? Well, that's just, take it away. Expensive gifts.
Anfisa enters from the hall.
There's a colonel just arrived, dears. Never laid eyes on him before. He's already got his coat off and everything. Reenie, dear, you be nice to him. Mind your manners now. And it's long past lunchtime already.
It's probably Vershinin.
Enter Vershinin.
Lieutenant Colonel Vershinin.
How do you do? I'm delighted to be here at last. Delighted, believe me. Well, how you've grown.
Won't you sit down? It's very nice of you to come.
I'm delighted, really delighted. But there's 3 of you, isn't there? I remember 3 sisters, 3 little girls. I don't recall your faces, but I remember perfectly your father, Colonel Prozorov. He had 3 little girls. I saw you with my own eyes. Well, how time does fly.
Alexander Ignatich is from Moscow.
Moscow? You're from Moscow?
Yes, indeed. Your father was a battery commander in Moscow, and I was an officer in his command. Now, your face, I think I remember.
Funny, I don't remember yours.
Olga! Olga, come here!
Olga comes into the living room.
Colonel Vershinin is from Moscow.
You must be Olga Sergeyevna, the oldest, and you are Maria, and you are Irina, the youngest.
You're from Moscow?
Yes, I went to school in Moscow, and I began my service career there. Served there quite a while, in fact, and I've finally gotten my own command. Here, as you see. I don't remember you individually. All I remember is that there were 3 of you, 3 sisters. I remember your father very well. When I close my eyes, I can see him as if it were yesterday. I used to spend a lot of time at your house in Moscow.
I thought I remembered everybody, but...
Perhaps you remember my full name, Alexander Ignatievich.
Alexander Ignatievich, you're from Moscow. Oh, what a surprise.
We're moving back there, you know.
Huh?
We expect to be there by autumn. It's our hometown. We were born there, on Old Basmani Street.
We never expected to see anyone from Moscow here. Wait, now I remember. Olga, remember, they used to talk about the lovesick major. You were a lieutenant then, and you were in love with someone, and they used to tease you about being a major.
Yes, that's right. The lovesick major, yes.
Mustache then. Oh, you've gotten so old. I've gotten so old.
Yes, when they called me the lovesick major, I was young and I was in love. Now I'm not.
But you really don't look so bad. I mean, you've gotten old, but you're not really old.
Well, I'm almost 44. How long has it been since you left Moscow?
11 years. Masha, what's the matter? Don't cry. You're so silly. You'll make me start.
I'm all right. What street did you live on?
On Old Basmati Street.
So did we.
Then, for a while, I lived on Nemetsky Street. I used to walk there, from there to the barracks. You have to cross a big bridge to get there. The water makes a noise underneath you. If you're lonely, it makes you feel awful. But the river you've got here is wonderful, wide, strong.
Yes, but it gets cold here. It's cold and there are mosquitoes.
Oh, come now. This is a very good climate, very healthy, very Russian. The woods, the river, and you've got birch trees. Wonderful, uncomplicated birch trees. They're my favorite tree. Life must be very good here. But it's funny, the nearest railroad station is 18 miles away, and nobody seems to know why.
Well, I know why. Because if the station were close, it wouldn't be far away, and if it's far away, then it can't be close.
Very, very funny, Vasily Vasilyevich.
Now I remember you. I really do.
I knew your mother.
Was a wonderful woman. God rest her.
Mama is buried in Moscow.
And Novodevichy Cemetery.
It's funny. I'm beginning to forget what she looked like. The same thing will happen to us. No one will remember us.
True. No one will remember us. That's fate. There's nothing you can do about it. Things that seem important to us, serious and significant things, the time will come when they'll all be forgotten, or they won't seem so important anymore. And the interesting thing is, there's no way we can guess what will be considered important and serious and what will be considered petty and silly. Remember the discoveries of Copernicus, or let's say Columbus, how they seemed silly and unnecessary at first, while a whole lot of nonsense was propounded as eternal truth. So, in time, perhaps this life of ours, the one we're so proud of, will seem strange, stupid, messy, perhaps even sinful.
But who knows? They may also think of the life we led as a high point and remember it with respect. Today, we have no torture, no capital punishment, no invasions. But there's still so much suffering.
The Baron doesn't live on food like the rest of us. He just lives in philosophy.
Vasily Vasilyevich, if you will not leave me alone, for God's sake. Oh, it's not funny anymore. And the suffering observable everywhere today would seem to indicate that society has already attained a certain level of moral elevation.
Yes, of course.
You just said, Baron, that people in the future will think of our life as a high point. But people nowadays are still pretty low. Look how low I am. But of course, you make me feel better by calling my life a high point.
A violin is played off stage.
My brother Andre playing.
He's the family intellectual. He'll probably be a scientist. Papa was in the service, but his son has decided to go on a scientific career.
That's what Papa wanted him to do.
Well, we were teasing him today. He seems to be a little bit in love.
With one of the local girls. I imagine she'll be here for lunch.
Oh, but her clothes. It's not just that they're ugly or out of style. They're absolutely pitiful. She'll wear a funny yellow skirt with some awful fringe and a red blouse, and those little pink cheeks, always scrubbed clean, clean, clean. Andre can't be in love. I don't believe it. He does have some taste, after all. He's just teasing us, that's all. He's acting silly. I heard someone saying yesterday that she's supposed to marry Protopopov, the chairman of the county council, and I certainly hope she does. Andre, come here a minute. Just a minute, dear.
Andre enters.
This is my brother, Andre Saragit.
Vershinid.
How do you do? You're the new battery commander?
Can you believe it? Colonel Vershinin from Moscow.
Are you? Well, congratulations. Now my sisters won't let you alone.
I think I've already managed to bore your sisters.
Look at this picture frame Andre gave me for a present. He made it himself.
Yes, well, it certainly is.
And this frame, over the piano, he made that too.
Andre's art intellectual, and he plays the violin, and he can carve almost anything in wood. He's our genius, Andre. Don't go. He's always doing that. He wants to be alone. Come back.
Masha and Irina take his arms and lead him back, laughing.
Come on.
Please don't.
He's so funny. We used to call Alexander Ignatyevich the lovesick major, and he never got mad.
Never.
I've got a name for you, the lovesick violinist.
Or the lovesick scientist.
He's in love. Andre's in love.
Bravo, bravo, encore. Andre's in love.
That makes the world go around.
Will you all please stop it? I couldn't sleep all night, and I feel sort of funny today. A little upset, I guess. I sat up reading until 4, and then I got into bed, but I just lay there. I kept thinking about things, and all of a sudden the sun came up, and the bedroom was full of light. As long as I'm going to be here through the summer, I want to translate this book from English.
You read English?
Yes, my father, God rest him, educated us with a vengeance. It's funny, and I guess it's sort of silly too, but you know, after he died, I started putting on weight, and in just a year, I've gotten kind of heavy. It's almost as if my body were letting itself go after all the education. My father made sure that my sisters and I knew French, German, and English, and Irina even knows Italian. But a lot of good it does us.
What's the point of knowing 3 languages in a town like this? It's a useless luxury. It's not even a luxury. It's an unnecessary appendage, like a 6th finger. We know a lot that's unnecessary.
Well, you know a lot that's unnecessary. I don't think there exists. I don't think there could exist a town so dull and boring that it didn't have a real need for intelligent, educated people. All right, let's agree that this town is backward and vulgar, and let's suppose now that out of all of its thousands of inhabitants, there are only 3 people like you. Of course, you won't be able to overcome the unenlightened mass that surrounds you. Little by little, you'll disappear into this crowd of thousands. Life will swallow you up, but you won't simply disappear. You will have some influence. And after you've gone there, there will be 6 or more, let's say, like you, then 12, and so on, until finally people like you will be in the majority. In 200 or 300 years, life on Earth will be unimaginably beautiful, astonishing. Man needs a life like that. And if we don't have it yet, we must wait for it, dream of it, prepare for it. And that's the reason we must be able to see and know more than our fathers and grandfathers. And you complain that you know a lot that's unnecessary.
I'm staying for lunch.
You know, you should really write all that down.
Andre has left unnoticed.
Oh, you say that life will eventually be beautiful and wonderful. That's true. But in order for us to have a share in all that, even at this point, we have to get ready for it. We have to work.
Yes. What a lot of flowers you've got. And a beautiful house. I envy you. All my life, I've lived in dumpy apartments with 2 chairs and a sofa and a stove always smokes. And the one thing I've always wanted was lots of flowers like this. Oh my! Well,
Yes, we have to work. I know what you're all thinking. Listen to the German getting sentimental again. But I'm Russian. Honestly, I am. I don't even speak German. And my father was baptized in the Russian church.
sometimes I think what it would be like to start life all over again and do it deliberately. The life we'd already lived would be a kind of rough draft, and the new one would be a clean copy. And I think each of us would try not to repeat the same mistakes, at least try to arrange a new environment, find a room like this to live in, with flowers in it and lots of light. I have a wife and 2 little girls, and my wife is not a well woman, and what with one thing and another, if I could start life all over again, believe me, I certainly wouldn't get married.
Cooligan, going up to Irina.
Dearest sister, allow me to congratulate you on this happy occasion and to convey to you my heartfelt wishes for good health and whatever else a girl of your age may desire, properly desire, that is. And allow me to present you with this little book, a small token of my esteem. It's a history of the first 50 years of our local high school. I wrote it myself, a mere trifle written in an idle hour, but I want you to be sure to read it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Collegan, I teach at the local high school. Now this little book contains the names of all those who have graduated from our high school in the last 50 years. Feci quod potuae, faciant meliora potentis.
This is Masha.
But you gave me the same book as a present last Easter.
No. Well, then give it back. Or better yet, give it to the Colonel. Here, Colonel, read it sometime when you have nothing better to do.
Thank you. I'm really delighted we've gotten to know each other again.
Are you leaving? Oh, don't.
Oh, you must stay and have lunch, please.
Do really, please.
I seem to have intruded on a birthday party. Excuse me, I didn't know. I should have congratulated you.
He goes into the dining room with Olga.
Today is Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, a day of rest. Let us all seek rest, each according to his age and status. These rugs should be rolled up and stored for the summer in mothballs or naphtha. The Romans were a healthy race. They knew how to work. They also knew how to rest. They had a mens sana in corpore sano. They lived their lives according to the proper forms. Our headmaster always says the main thing in life is form. When things lose their form, they lose their identity. And in our daily lives, it is precisely the same. Masha loves me. My wife loves me. And the window drapes should be stored with the rugs. I'm very happy today, in an excellent frame of mind. Masha, we're going to the headmasters this afternoon at 4. There's an outing for the teachers and their families.
I'm not going.
Masha, dearest, why not?
I'll tell you later. Look, all right, I'll go. Only please just leave me alone.
And he's invited us all back to spend the evening at his place. Despite his precarious health, that man does his best to be sociable. Astonishing personality, a remarkable man, really extraordinary. Yesterday at the faculty meeting, he turned to me and said, "I'm tired, Fyodor Ilyich. Tired. Your clock is 7 minutes fast. Tired." That's what he said.
A violin is heard off stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, lunch is served and the birthday cake.
Olga, dearest, Olga, dearest. Yesterday I worked from early morning until 11 at night. I was tired, and today I feel very happy. Dearest,
Chebutikin folding his newspaper, putting it in his pocket, and combing his beard.
Birthday cake. Wonderful.
Now, you listen to me. I don't want to see you drinking today. Understand it's very bad for you.
Whoa, whoa. Now, wait just a minute. I gave it up. I haven't been drunk in 2 years, for God's sake. Anyway, what difference does it make?
Never mind. Just don't drink at all. That's all. Damn boring evening at the headmaster's.
If I were you, I just wouldn't go. It's very simple. Why not?
Don't go.
Oh, fine. Don't go. As easy as that. What a miserable goddamn life.
Oh,
Goes into the dining room.
Wee.
That'll do, Vasily Vasilich. Let it alone.
Wee.
Your health, Colonel. I am a pedagogue by profession, but here I'm just one of the family. Masha's husband. She's a wonderful woman, a wonderful woman.
I'll have a little of this dark vodka. Your health. I feel very much at home here.
Only Irina and Tuzenbach are left in the living room.
Masha really feels awful today. She was only 18 when she married him, and she thought he was very intelligent. Not anymore. He's a nice man, but he's not very intelligent.
Andre, come on. We're all waiting for you.
I'm coming.
He enters.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, nothing. I don't like that Solyoni. I'm afraid of him. He says the stupidest things.
He's strange. I feel sorry for him. And he makes me sad sometimes, but mostly I feel sorry for him. When there's just the two of us, he's good company and quite intelligent, but whenever he's in a group, he gets crude and vulgar, and he always tries to start a fight. Don't go yet. Let them get all settled first. Let me spend some time with you. Just the two of us. What are you thinking about? You're 20 years old and I'm not 30 yet. Think about all the time we have ahead of us, days and days. All of them full of my love for you.
Nikolai Lyovich, don't talk to me about love.
Well, I have such a desire to live, Irina, and to work and to fight for something. And my love for you makes that desire even stronger. You're so beautiful. You make life seem just as beautiful. What are you thinking about?
You say life is so beautiful, but suppose it isn't. Look at us. 3 sisters. Our life hasn't been so beautiful. It's choking us up like a lawn full of weeds. There, I'm starting to cry. I really don't mean to. We have to work. We really do. The reason we're unhappy and think life is so awful is because we don't know what it means to work. We come from families who thought they never had to work.
Enter Natasha. She wears a pink dress and a green belt.
They're eating already? I guess I'm late.
Stops briefly in front of the mirror and fixes herself up.
Well, at least my hair's okay. Irina Sergeyevna, happy birthday! Congratulations, honey.
Gives her a hug and several effusive kisses.
You've got so many guests. I feel sort of embarrassed. Hello, Baron. How are you?
Olga coming into the living room.
Well, if it isn't Natalia Ivanovna, how are you, my sweet?
They exchange kisses.
You've got such a big party. I really feel awfully embarrassed.
Now, none of that. It's all just friends, a green belt. Darling, that just isn't done.
Why? Is it bad luck or something?
No, it's just that it does didn't look right with that dress. Well, it looks a bit odd, that's all.
But why? It isn't really so green. I mean, it's more, greenish.
She follows Olga into the dining room. Everyone is now at the table. The living room is empty.
Irina, dearest, here's hoping you find a suitable fiance. It's about time you got married.
Here's hoping Natalia Ivanovna finds herself a boyfriend too.
Natalia Ivanovna already has a boyfriend.
I'll have another little glass of that wine. Well, we only live once, by God, and sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
You get an F- for conduct.
This vodka is delicious. What gives it that special taste?
Cockroach juice.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
We're having roast turkey and apple pie for dinner tonight. Thank God I've got the whole day off and the evening too. I hope you'll all be able to come for dinner.
I hope you'll let me come too.
Of course.
They're very informal around here.
It's love that makes the world go round.
Will you all please stop it? Aren't you tired of it yet?
Editic and Rode enter with a big basket of flowers.
Oh, they're already having lunch.
Lunch? Yes, it's true. They are already having lunch.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
Takes a picture.
There. Now one more. Okay, everybody hold still.
Takes another picture.
There. Okay. Now you all can move.
They take the basket of flowers and go into the dining room where everyone greets them noisily.
Happy birthday and best wishes, the very best. The weather is just wonderful today, really beautiful. I took some of the high school boys out for a walk this morning. I'm the gymnastics coach at the high school.
Oh, that's all right, Irina Sergeyevna. You don't have to hold still. It's all right. Okay.
Takes a picture.
Oh, you look very interesting today.
Takes a top out of his pocket.
Oh, I forgot. A present for you. A top. It makes that amazing sound.
Oh, it's divine. Oh.
By the sea, there stands a tree, and on that tree, a golden chain, and on that tree, a golden chain, and on that chain, an educated cat goes around and around and around. Why do I keep saying that? I can't get it out of my head.
There are 13 of us at the table.
Surely, ladies and gentlemen, you are above such silly superstitions.
If there are 13 at table, that means 2 of them are in love. Ivan Romanich, I certainly hope nobody's in love with you.
I'm just an old boozer. But look at Natalia Ivanovna. What do you suppose she's got to blush about?
Natasha gets up and runs into the living room. Andre follows her.
It's all right. Don't pay any attention to them. Wait, don't go, please.
I'm so embarrassed. I just don't know what's the matter with me. They just make fun of me all the time. I know it's not polite to leave the table like that, but I just can't stand it. I really couldn't.
Oh, darling, please don't get upset. They're only joking. Honestly, they are. They all mean well. Darling, they're all nice people. They love me and they love you too. Come on over here by the window. They can't see us over here.
It's just that I'm not used to these social occasions.
Oh, you're so young and beautiful. Darling, oh darling, don't get upset. Believe me. I feel so good. I feel so full of love and I'm so proud. Oh, they can't see us. Don't worry, they can't see us. I don't know how I fell in love with you or when or why. I just don't understand any of it. Darling, you're so sweet and so ordinary. I want you to marry me. I love you. I love you. I've never loved anyone before.
They kiss. 2 officers enter, see them kissing, and stop in amazement. Curtain. Act 2. The same set as Act 1. 8 o'clock at night. Somewhere at a distance, someone in the street is playing an accordion. The room is dark. Enter Natasha in a housecoat carrying a candle. She crosses to the door to Andre's room and stops.
Andy, what are you doing? You reading? That's okay. I just wanted to.
Goes to another door, opens it, looks in, closes it.
The lamps aren't lit.
Andre coming in with a book in his hand.
What's the matter, Natasha?
I was just looking to see if the lamps were lit. Tonight's carnival, the maids all in a tizzy. You got to keep your eyes on them so nothing happens. Last night after midnight, I was going through the dining room and there was this candle burning. I never could find out who did it. What time is it?
8:15.
And Olga and Irina are still out, haven't come home yet. They just work and work. Poor dears. Olga at the Board of Education, Irina at the telegraph office. This morning I told your sister, I said, you take care of yourself, Irina. You hear me, honey? She never listens. Did you say 8:15? I'm worried about Bobik. I think maybe he's a little sick. Why is he so cold? Yesterday he had a fever and today he's cold all over. I get so worried.
He's all right, Natasha. The baby's all right.
Well, all the same, I better start him on a different diet. I'm just worried. And they said the carnival people are supposed to come tonight. I just don't think they better, Andy.
Look, I don't know. They were invited.
This morning, the baby woke up and looked at me, and all of a sudden he smiled, and I just know he recognized me. Hello, Bobik, I said. Hello, darling. And he laughed. Babies know exactly what's going on. Andy, they really do. So I guess I'll just tell them not to let the carnival people in when they come.
Well, whatever my sisters say, it's their house. It's up to them.
It's theirs too. I'll tell them to. They're so sweet. I told them to get you some yogurt for supper. Doctor says you shouldn't eat anything except yogurt. Otherwise, you're not ever going to lose weight. Bobik's cold. I'm worried he's going to catch cold in that room of his. He could, you know. We should move him into another room until the warm weather comes. For instance, Irina's room is just right for a baby's room. It's dry and gets the sun all day long. We should tell her and she can move in with Olga until then. She's never here during the daytime anyway. She just spends the night here. Andy, how come you never talk to me?
Nothing. I was just thinking. What is there to say?
Yeah, there's nothing else. There was something else I wanted to tell you. Oh yes, Farapont from the council is here. He says he has to talk to you.
Tell him to come in.
Natasha goes out. Andre sits by the candle she has left and reads his book. Farapont comes in. He is wearing an old tattered overcoat with the collar turned up and his scarf tied over his ears.
Hello, old man. What's up?
Chairman sent over a book and some papers. Here.
He gives him a book and a packet.
Thanks. That's fine. Why did you come by so late? It's already after 8.
What?
I said you came by late. It's already after 8.
That's right. I came by a while ago. It was still light. Wouldn't let me in. Said you were busy. That's what they said. Well, that's fine if he's busy. He's busy. I'm in no hurry. What?
Nothing. Tomorrow's Friday. There's no meeting, but I'll go anyway. Get something done. It's a bore around here. How funny life is. Today I had nothing to do. I was bored. I picked up this book, my old lecture notes from the university, and I started to laugh. My God, I'm the secretary of the county council, the same council that Propotov is chairman of. I'm the secretary, and the highest honor I can hope for is to become a full member, me, a member of the local county council. And every night I dream I'm a professor at the University of Moscow, a famous scientist, a pride of Russia.
I don't know. Can't hear too well.
If you could hear, I wouldn't be telling you all this. I have to talk to someone. My wife doesn't understand me. I'm afraid of my sisters. I don't know why. I'm always afraid they'll laugh at me, make me feel shamed. I don't drink, I don't like bars, but I'd love to be in Moscow right now, sitting at a table at Testov's or the Grand Moscow.
Now in Moscow, there's a fella over in the office the other day. He says there was this bunch of men in Moscow, businessmen, he says, and they were eating pancakes. Now this one fella, he ate 40 of them. He up and died. Or maybe it was 50. I can't remember.
In Moscow, you can sit in a restaurant full of people and nobody knows you, and you don't know anybody. But still, you don't feel like a stranger. In this town, you know everybody, and everybody knows you. But you're always a stranger and alone.
What? Hey, the same fella, he was telling us, could have been lying, I don't know. He was saying they got a rope in Moscow, hangs all across the town, one side to the other.
What's it for?
I don't know. This fella was telling us.
He made it up. Were you ever in Moscow?
Nope. Things just didn't work out that way. You mind if I go?
Sure. Take care of yourself.
Arapont goes out.
Take care of yourself. Come over tomorrow. Will you? And pick up these paper. Wait a minute. Oh, he's gone.
The doorbell rings.
That's it. Work.
He stretches and goes slowly to his room. Off stage, a nurse sings a lullaby to the baby. Enter Masha and Vershinin. While they talk, the maid lights the lamps and candles in the room.
No. I don't know. Of course, habit can be very strong. For example, after father died, it took us a long time to get used to the fact that we didn't have orderlies anymore. But I think I'm being fair about it, even allowing for habit. Maybe it's different in other places, but in this town, the most respectable, the best brought up, and the best educated people are in the military.
I'm really thirsty. I'd love a cup of tea.
It ought to be here in a minute. I got married when I was 18, and I was afraid of my husband because he was a teacher and I was barely out of school. I used to think he was terribly wise, intelligent, and important. Now I've changed my mind, unfortunately.
Yes, well.
I mean, I don't mean my husband. I've gotten used to him. But most of the people in this town are so vulgar, so unpleasant, so stupid. Vulgarity upsets me. It wounds me. I get physically sick when I see someone who lacks finesse, who lacks kindness and gentleness. When I have to spend time with my husband's colleagues from the high school, it makes me sick.
Well, I don't see that much difference, though, between military and civilians, in this town at least. They both seem uninteresting. They're all alike. Listen to any one of the locals who claim to be sensitive or intelligent, civilian or military. His wife depresses him, his house depresses him, everything he owns depresses him. We are all supposed to be such highly developed abstract thinkers, but why are our lives so depressing? Why?
Why?
Why does his wife depress him and his children, and why do they get depressed by him?
You're a bit depressed yourself today.
Maybe. I didn't have any lunch. I haven't eaten a thing since this morning. My daughter wasn't feeling well, and whenever something is the matter with my two girls, I always get very upset. It kills me to think of the mother they've got. God! You should have seen her this morning. What a fool she is. We started fighting at 7 in the morning, and at 9 I slammed the door and left. I never talk about these things. It's funny. You're the only one I complain to about it.
He kisses her hand.
Don't be angry with me. You're absolutely all I've got.
Listen to the noise in the chimney. Right before Father died, the wind made a noise in the chimney. Just like that.
Are you superstitious?
Yes.
That's strange.
He kisses her hand.
You're a strange, wonderful woman. Strange and wonderful. I can see your eyes shining in the dark.
There's more light over here.
I love you. I love you. I love your eyes, the way you move. I dream about you, you strange, wonderful woman.
When you talk like that, it makes me want to laugh somehow. Even though it terrifies me. Don't say it again, please. No, go on, say it. What difference does it make? It doesn't make any difference. Ah, someone's coming. Talk about something else.
Irina and Tuzenbach enter through the dining room.
I have a triple family name, Baron Tulzenbach Kroner Altschauer. But I'm Russian, just like you. I was baptized in the Russian church, and there's very little German left in me. Well, except for the patience. Well, stubbornness to you, it seems, probably. I walk you home every night.
I'm so tired.
And every evening, I'll show up at the telegraph office and walk you home. I promise. For the next 10 or 20 years until you chase me away. Oh, it's you. Hello.
Home at last. A lady came in tonight to send a telegram to her brother-in-law in Saratov. Her son died today and she couldn't remember the address. So she sent it without one, just to Saratov. She was crying and I was rude to her for no reason. I'm in a hurry, I said. It was such a stupid thing to do. Are the carnival people coming tonight?
Yes.
I've got to get some rest. I'm worn out.
You get off work, you look so little, so helpless.
I'm tired. I hate the telegraph office. I hate it.
You've lost weight. It makes your face look like a boy's.
That's because of the way she wears her hair.
I have got to find another job. This one is all wrong for me. Whatever it was I wanted or was dreaming of, this is definitely not it. It's work, but there's no poetry in it, no meaning to it.
A knock on the floor from below.
Doctor's knocking. You knock, dear. Will you? I haven't the strength. I'm worn out.
Tuzenbach knocks on the floor.
He'll be right up. Listen, we have got to do something. Last night, the doctor and Andre were playing cards at the club. And they lost again. Somebody said Andre lost 200 rubles, Masha.
What can we do about it now?
2 weeks ago, he lost. In December, he lost. I wish he'd hurry up and lose everything. Then maybe we could get out of town. Oh my God. I dream about Moscow night after night. Sometimes I think I'm going absolutely crazy. We're moving in June, so that leaves February, March, April, May, almost half a year.
Look, the main thing is not to let Natasha find out that he's lost all that money.
I don't think she even cares.
Shabutikin enters, combing his beard. He has just gotten up from a nap after dinner. He sits down at the dining room table and takes a newspaper out of his pocket.
Here he comes. Has he paid his rent?
No. Not for the last 8 months. I guess he forgot.
Oh, look at him sit there.
Oh, why are you so quiet, Alexander Ignatievich?
I don't know. I want some tea. My kingdom for a cup of tea. I haven't eaten a thing since this morning.
Irina Sergeyevna.
What do you want?
Please come here. We need to see.
Irina crosses and sits down at the table.
I can't do without you.
Irina lays out a game of solitaire.
Now what? If we're not going to have tea, let's talk.
All right. Let's. What about?
Let's make up things. For instance, let's talk about what life will be like after we're gone, say in 200 or 300 years.
Well, after we're gone, people will travel around in flying machines and they'll wear different style jackets. Maybe they'll discover sixth sense and expand our perceptions. But life won't change. It will still be hard and happy and mysterious. 300 years from now, people will still go around complaining, oh, life is so hard. And they will still be afraid to die, the same as they are now.
No. How can I make myself clear? I believe that everything in the world will change little by little. It's already changing right before our eyes. In 200 or 300 years, well, in 1,000 maybe, the number of years isn't so important. A new and a happier life will begin. Of course, we'll never see it, but we are working toward it right now. We worked for it. We suffer for it. We create it, in fact. And that's the whole point of our existence. That's what happiness is, I think.
What are you laughing about?
I started laughing this morning and I've been laughing all day long.
I graduated from the same school you did. Even though I never went to the academy, I read a lot, but I'm not very good at choosing books. Sometimes I think I'm reading all the wrong things. Still, the longer I live, the more I want to know. My hair is turning gray. I'm almost an old man, and I know so little, so little. But all the same, I think I do know the most important thing, the only real thing. And I want to convince you of it too, that happiness doesn't exist as yet. It will never exist for us, and that's all right. That's as it should be. Our task is only to work, and work. Happiness is reserved for our descendants. It's not for me. It's for my distant descendants.
Bedetic and Rade appear in the dining room. They sit down and hum softly. Bedetic strums a guitar.
According to you, we can't even dream of happiness. But what if I'm happy now?
You're not.
Obviously, we are on opposite sides of the fence. But now, how am I going to convince you? Go ahead. Go ahead and laugh. Not just in 200 or 300 years, but in 1,000,000 years, life will still be the same as it's always been. It doesn't change. It always stays the same, and it has its own laws, which are none of your business, or at least you'll never find out what they are. Birds that migrate. Cranes, for instance, just fly, and no matter what thoughts they may be thinking, great thoughts, small thoughts, they just keep flying without knowing where or why. They fly, and they will always fly, no matter what great philosophers may arise among them. They can talk philosophy if they want, but they can never stop flying.
But there has to be some meaning in it.
Meaning? Look out the window. It's snowing. Is there any meaning in that?
I think a person has to believe in something or has to look for something to believe in. Otherwise, his life is empty, just to live and not to know why the cranes fly, why children are born, why there are stars in the sky. Either you know the reason why you're alive or nothing makes any difference.
Still, It's too bad youth doesn't last.
You know what Gogol said, ladies and gentlemen, life is a bore.
And I say, ladies and gentlemen, arguing is a bore. Well, with you anyway.
Chabutican reading from the newspaper.
Balzac was married in Bardichev. Let's just make a little note of that one. Balzac was married in Bardichev.
Irina laying out another game of solitaire thoughtfully.
Balzac was married in Baldichev.
The die is cast, Maria Sergeyevna. Did you know that I'm resigning from the military?
Oh, I heard. I don't see what's so wonderful about it. I hate civilians.
What difference does it make? I'm not very good looking. What kind of a military man is that? Anyway, it doesn't make any difference, really. It doesn't. I'm going to work. At least once in my life, I'm going to work so hard that I'll come home at night and just fall into bed all worn out and go right to sleep. Oh, working people must sleep so well.
So I was down on Moscow Street today, and I bought these for you at Pachoka's. Crayons in a little knife.
You always treat me like a little girl, but I am grown up, you know it. Oh, okay. They're divine.
And I got a knife for myself too. Look, here's one blade and another one and another one. Oh, and this one's for cleaning your ears. Oh, and this one is a pair of scissors. Oh, and this one's for cleaning your nails.
How old are you?
Me, 32.
Oh, here. Do you want me to show you another way to play solitaire?
Sure.
He lays out the game. They bring in things for tea. Anfisa busies herself with the tea. Soon, Natasha comes in and busies herself at the table as well. Solyoni comes in, says hello to people, and sits down at the table.
Listen to that wind.
Yes, winter's a bore. I can't even remember what summer is like.
Look, the solitaire is coming out. That means we'll get to Moscow.
No, it isn't. See, you've got an 8 on 2 of spades, and that means you won't get to Moscow.
Pichikar. An epidemic of smallpox has broken out there.
Masha, dear, tea's ready.
Bring mine here, Nana. I can't budge.
Nana?
Coming.
Little babies understand everything you say. Hi, Bobik, I said. Hello, darling. And you should have seen the way he looked at me. Oh, I know what you think. I'm just his mother. But it's more than that. Believe you me, he's an extraordinary child.
If that child were mine, I would have sauteed him in butter and eaten him long ago.
He takes his tea into the living room and sits in a far corner.
Oh, that man is so crude and vulgar.
How wonderful it must be not to know whether it's winter or summer. I think if I lived in Moscow, I wouldn't care what the weather was.
The other day, I was reading the diary of that French politician, the one that went to prison because of the Panama scandal. It was so moving, the way he described the birds he could see from his prison window. Birds he never even noticed when he was a government official. Of course, now that he's out of prison, he probably doesn't notice them anymore. It's the same with you. Once you're actually living in Moscow, you won't notice it anymore either. We're never happy. We can never be happy. We only want to be happy.
Tuzenbach taking a box from the table.
What happened to all the candy?
Solyoni ate it.
He ate it all?
Anfisa hands Vershinin a cup of tea.
Somebody brought a note for you, dear.
For me? Huh. That's from my daughter. Oh, God. Once you know it. Excuse me, Maria Sergeyevna. I have to go. I'll just slip out quietly. I can't stay for tea. It's the same old story.
Matter, can't you tell me?
My wife has taken too many pills again. I have to go. I'll go out this way. It's all very unpleasant.
He kisses Masha's hand.
My dearest, you wonderful woman. I'll just go out quietly.
Now where's he going? I just gave him his tea. Really, I never saw the likes.
Well, go away! Just, you stand there bothering me all the time. I'm sick and tired of that old woman.
Oh, what's gotten into her? My Lord.
Anfisa.
Anfisa. He just sits there.
Look, just give me some room to sit down. Like, you've got your cards all over the place. Drink your tea.
Masha, you're being mean.
Well, if I am, don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
And you're 60 years old and all you do is talk a lot of goddamn nonsense like some kind of kid.
Masha, dear, why do you always use such language like that? You have a very attractive personality, and I'm sure you could make a real nice impression on social occasions. I'll tell you, quite frankly, if it weren't for those vulgar words of yours, je vais vous prier, pardonnez-moi, Marie, mais vous avec moi.
Oh, give me. There, I think there's some cognac.
Paris que mon Bobby dépardonnera. He woke up. He hasn't been feeling well all day. I'll just go take a look. Excuse me.
Where did Alexander Ignatievich go?
Home. There's something going on with his wife again.
Tusenbach goes up to Solyoni with the decanter of cognac in his hands.
You're always sitting off by yourself, thinking about something, only nobody ever knows what. Listen, let's be friends. Have a drink.
They drink.
I've got to play the piano tonight. All night, probably. Just silly stuff. Well, that's all right.
What do you mean, be friends? Who said we were enemies?
You always make me feel as if something had gone wrong between us. You're kind of strange, you must admit.
I am strange. We all are strange. Forget thy wrath, Aleko.
Aleko? Who's Aleko?
Whenever I'm alone with someone, I feel all right, just ordinary. But when I'm in a group, I feel depressed and shy, and I just say a lot of stupid things. But still, I'm more honest and open than a lot of other people, and a lot of others. I can prove it.
I know I get mad at you a lot. You're always trying to pick a fight with me whenever we're out anywhere. But I still like you anyway. What the hell? I feel like getting drunk tonight. Let's have a drink.
Let's have a drink.
They drink.
I don't have anything against you, Baron, but I have the soul of Lermontov. I even look a little like Lermontov. At least that's what people say.
He takes out his bottle of cologne and rubs some on his hands.
I'm resigning from the service. Basta. I've been thinking about it for 5 years, and I finally decided to do it. I'm going to go to work.
Forget thy wrath, Aleko. Forget thy dreams.
Andrei comes in with his book and sits near a lamp.
Oh, I'm going to work.
Chebutikin going into the living room with Irina.
And it was a real Caucasian dinner too. We had onion soup and a meat dish called chihartma.
Cheremsha isn't meat. It's a kind of onion.
No, Angel. Chihartma isn't an onion. It's a meat dish made with lamb.
And I'm telling you, Cherumsha is an onion.
And I'm telling you, Jihartma is a meat dish.
And I'm telling you, Cherumsha is an onion.
What am I arguing with you for? You were never in the Kokokus. And you've never eaten Jihartma.
I've never eaten Cherumsha because I can't stand it. It tastes worse than garlic.
That's enough. Will you two please stop?
Oh, when are the carnival people coming?
They should be here now. They promised to come around 9.
Ach, vi sani moi, sani moi vie.
Sani moi vi kleni
Yes, let's have a drink. Andy, let's drink to being friends, and I'll go with you, Andy, to the university in Moscow.
Which one? There are 2 universities in Moscow.
There's only one university in Moscow.
And I'm telling you, there are 2.
I don't care if there are 3, the more the merrier.
There are 2 universities in Moscow.
Yeah.
There are 2 universities in Moscow. The old university and the new university. And if it bothers you all to listen to me, if my words offend you, I don't have to say anything. I can even leave the room.
Oh, bravo, bravo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. I am about to play that Soleoni is a clown.
Masha waltzing by herself.
The Baron is drunk. The Baron is drunk. The Baron is drunk.
Enter Natasha.
Ivan, Romanik.
She whispers something to Chebutikin, then goes out quietly. Chebutikin taps Tuzenbach on the shoulder and whispers something. He stops playing.
What's the matter?
Time for us to go. Good night now.
Good night. It's time to go.
Excuse me, but what about the carnival people?
They're not coming. Well, you see, dear, Natasha says the Bobcake isn't feeling well, and so, look, I don't know. What difference does it make?
Bobik isn't feeling well.
Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. If they kick us out, then I guess we go. Bobik isn't sick, she is. In the head. That cheap little...
Andre goes into his own room. Chebutikin follows him. In the dining room, everyone is saying goodbye.
What a shame. You know, I was really counting on spending the evening, but if the baby is sick, of course, I'll bring him a little present tomorrow.
Today, I took a long nap after dinner on purpose because I thought we'd be up all night dancing. It's not even 10 o'clock yet.
Let's go out in front of the house. We can talk there. Let's think of someplace else to go.
We hear goodbye, good night. Tuzenbach's happy laugh. Everybody leaves. Anfisa and the maid clear the table and turn out the lamps. The nurse is singing somewhere. Andre in an overcoat and hat and Chebutikin enter quietly.
I never managed to get married because life just went by like a flash. And also because I was crazy in love with your mother and she was already married.
Nobody should get married. It's boring.
Maybe so, but loneliness is worse. No matter how you rationalize it, my boy, loneliness is an awful business. Although when you get right down to it, actually, what difference does it make?
Come on, let's go.
What are you in such a rush for? We'll make it.
I'm afraid my wife might stop me.
Oh.
Tonight, I'm not going to play cards. I'm just going to sit and watch. I don't feel very well. What are you supposed to do for pains in your chest, Ivan?
Don't ask me. I don't know. My boy, I can't remember.
Let's go out the back way.
They leave. The doorbell rings, then again, voices and laughter.
Who is that?
The carnival people.
The doorbell.
Tell them there's nobody home, Nana, and say we're sorry.
Anfisa leaves. Irina wanders about the room thinking. She is upset. Enter Solyoni.
There's no one here. Where did everybody go?
They went home.
That's funny. Are you alone?
Yes. Good night.
I behaved badly before. I lost control. It was tactless. But you're not like the others. You're different. You are pure and distant. You understand the truth. You're the only one who can understand me. The only one. I love you. I love you deeply, endlessly.
Good night. Please go.
I can't live without you. You're divine. What happiness. You have wonderful eyes. Brilliant, disturbing eyes. I've never seen a woman with eyes like that before.
Stop it, Vasily Vasilyevich.
This is the first time I've ever talked about my love for you. Well, maybe it doesn't make any difference. I can't force you to be nice to me. I know that. But no happy rivals. None. I swear by all that's holy, any rivals, I will kill them.
Natasha crosses the room with a candle. She's glancing in at one door, then another, and passing the door to her husband's room.
Andre? Oh, let him read. Oh, excuse me, Vasily Vasilyevich. I didn't know you were here. I'm not dressed.
What difference does that make? Good night.
Irina, you're all worn out, you poor thing. You shouldn't stay up so late.
Is Bobek asleep?
Yes, but not very well. By the way, I wanted to tell you before, but you weren't here or I never had time. I think Bobek's room is too cold and damp where he is now. I mean, and your room is exactly right for a baby's room. You just move in with Olga for a while. That's a good girl.
What?
The sound of sleigh bells outside.
You and Olga will have one room and Bobek goes in your room just for a while. He's such a darling. This morning I said to him, Bobek, I said, you're mine, all mine. And he just looked at me with those big eyes of his.
The doorbell rings.
That must be Olga. She's so late.
The maid comes in and whispers something in Natasha's ear.
Protopopov? What a crazy man. Protopopov is outside. He wants me to go for a sleigh ride with him. Men are so funny. Well, maybe just a little one. 15 minutes or so. Tell him I'll be right out.
The doorbell.
Now who is it? Well, that must be Olga.
She leaves. The maid hurries out. Irina sits thinking. Enter Kuligin, Olga, and behind them, Vershinin.
Now, how do you like that? And they said they were having a party.
That's funny. I only left about a half an hour ago, and they were waiting for the carnival people.
Everybody left.
Did Masha leave? Where did she go? And why is Protopopov waiting outside? Who's he waiting for?
Stop bothering me. I'm worn out.
Well, Miss High and Mighty.
The meeting just ended and I'm in agony. Our headmistress is sick and I have to substitute for her. And my head is aching so. Andre lost 200 rubles playing cards last night. And the whole town is talking about it.
Yes, even I got tired at that meeting.
My wife tried to kill herself again. But she was just trying to throw a scare into me. She's out of danger now, and I feel better. But I suppose that means we should go. Well, I wish you all a very good night. Fyodor Ilyich, let's go out somewhere. I really can't go home right now. What do you say?
I'm tired. I can't. I'm tired. Did my wife go home?
Probably.
Kuligin kisses Irina's hand.
Goodbye. Tomorrow and the day after are holidays. Have a pleasant rest. I would dearly love a cup of tea. I'd been counting on spending an evening with entertaining company. Well, o falakum hominum spem. Accusative of exclamation.
All right, I'll go by myself.
He leaves with Cooligan.
My head aches so. Andre lost and the whole town is talking. I'm going to bed. I've got the day off tomorrow and oh my God, how pleasant. Tomorrow off and the day after too, but my head aches so.
They've all gone. There's no one left.
Out on the street, someone is playing an accordion. The nurse sings. Natasha crosses the room in a fur coat and hat. The maid follows her.
I'll be back in a half an hour. I'm only going for a little ride.
I want to go to Moscow. Moscow, Moscow.
Curtain.
Hooray. Yay. Come on back. Applause, 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 applause. Excellent. Marvelous costume changes and all kinds of fun props and things. Excellent. So I just wanted to gather us back together. We'll all check in. I'm going to remind everybody in the audience, come back same time, same place tomorrow. We'll pick up with Act 3, and read those 2 acts, Act 3 and 4, and then hang around for a conversation. But I wanted to take this moment to do what I think I'm right to do and remind everybody that back in Act 1, we were here for Irina's name day, Saint's Day birthday. Today in real life, I believe it is Sara Holdren's birthday.
Oh,
so,
guys.
aren't I right? Yes. So we're just going to sing a little bit of Happy Birthday. Ready? And Mr. Put on your mic.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you.
That was horrific. Thank you.
All right. Excellent. Thank you all very much. Thank you all in the audience for being here with us. We will look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night. All right. Have a good night and until tomorrow. Lots of love and happy birthday, Ms. Holdren.